What is up, everybody? Happy Monday. Welcome into another episode of Flippin' Bats. It's Monday, which means top 10 Major League Baseball Power Rankings is getting updated. We got that coming. It is Overreaction Monday as well. A lot of questions Alex is going to throw my way, and I'm going to say whether they're an overreaction or not. Craig Kimbrel, is he a Hall of Famer? That's going to be one of them. Team of the Week. Player of the Week. This one is going to be a blast. Let's get to it.
It's a blowout. 8th inning, 10-3. Bases are loaded for Verlander, who waits on a 3-0 pitch. He swings, and it's a high fly ball. Deep center field. It is gone. Home run. And a huge bat flip to celebrate. All right, Ben, start the show already.
Happy Monday, everybody. I hope everybody had a great weekend. And Alex, last we left off, you said what you were doing for your birthday. And I said I wanted to hear none of it because I wanted to wait until the Monday show you mentioned something about some ranch and I don't even know. So Alex, how was your birthday weekend?
My birthday weekend was so magical. So we rented a ranch in Ojai, which is really close. It's like an hour and a half north up in the mountains.
That's where Buck's Marathon
That's
was
where Buck's
last
Marathon
weekend?
started. I basically did like a birthday vacation for me and my dogs. This place was insane. It's a 200-acre ranch, and this French woman built this house 10 years ago to make it kind of look like an old vintage European countryside home. Wow. So it's like all stone on the outside. There are animals everywhere. She has horses. She has donkeys. There are goats. There's a pig that thinks he's a horse, meaning he like sleeps with the horses and then like goes out and gallops with them. They have working dogs, which is like very different from pet dogs. You stay away from the working dogs because there's mountain lions and coyotes. So they protect the animals. The working dogs protect the animals. But it was it was so incredibly magical. My best friend Cynthia Freeland came out as well and celebrated with us. All of our dogs are best friends. So it was so cool. Like we went to sleep listening to the frogs and the dogs. Like you can see the little house there with Ozzy in front of it. It was so cool. Like I felt like I was in a different country. That's the view out of the front door.
That's awesome.
It's insane. It's 200 acres. It was so magical. I feel so lucky that I was able to do that and just kind of get away for a little birthday weekend. And the best part is I brought you cupcakes.
You brought me cupcakes?
I did.
For your birthday?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cynthia made me a bunch of cupcakes. I'm not going to eat them all, so you get a cupcake. We have one here for you.
Oh, my
Bring
God.
it on over.
Let's go.
Yes.
You know I'll eat
Well,
them.
I know. You're the junk food kid. So it's lemon with, I think, like a cream cheese topping, and they're gluten-free and dairy-free because I'm the gluten freak. So you're welcome.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you, Cynthia. Yeah.
Wow.
There you go.
Oh, they're gluten-free?
Gluten-free and dairy-free. I know. Do you have water with you? I don't know if this was a good call to do it right before we went on.
I'm good.
Yeah.
Just need a second. That's really good.
Did you have a good weekend?
I had a great weekend, but not like that. I just golfed a lot.
Yeah.
So last week I shot a 78, which is one of the best rounds of my life.
Yeah. And
then this week shot an 80.
Whoa.
So
okay,
my golf game's in good shape. Watched Justin pitch Saturday, so that took up. I went to golf earlier and then went home to watch Justin pitch. I'm a big homer, obviously.
Yeah.
Obviously, I think that's fair.
Uh-huh.
But that start with Justin, he had one really bad inning, and I'm telling you,
yeah.
They had his pitches. I know it. There was a guy that first inning was great. Hear me out. First inning went great. Second inning, first guy, Randall Grichuk hits his curveball, hits his off speed. First good swing on off speed, scores, touches home, goes up to talk to the next batter. Next thing you know, everybody was hitting his off speed. Couldn't hit the fastball, was on the off speed. I'm telling you, I'm a homer, but they had his signs.
All right.
And then he figured it out and settled in, but by that point, gave up a lot of runs.
That's okay.
But that was my weekend. A lot of golf, Justin pitching. Yeah, it was a good weekend.
You also did something while I was gone that I am so excited to hear about.
What?
You got to interview Kasumba Dennis.
Oh, my God.
Tell me everything.
So Kasumba Dennis, the 18-year-old catcher from Uganda, who I have talked a lot about his story and how in the past few weeks he was able to be a part of the MLB Draft League, which happens in June, so very soon. But he was finally got his visa approved. I've talked a lot about his journey and how he's gotten here and who he is. But the 18-year-old catcher from Uganda, and I mentioned a couple of weeks ago that we're going to try to get him on the show. And Alex,
You did it.
we did it. And it was one of the most special things I have had the pleasure of being able to do. It was emotional. It is powerful. It is something that everybody I hope listens to and appreciates. And that comes out later today as a special episode of Flippin' Bats. That the Kasumba Dennis episode will be coming out. So Monday afternoon, be on the lookout for that. And we have a clip of it, Alex. So let's play that now. So there are days where you will go to the baseball field and you haven't eaten, or you don't know when you're going to eat next, and you're hungry.
Yeah. Maybe to supplement on that, there are lots of days. Sometimes I always tell him not to work out because he comes at the pitch. He's like, Coach, I've not eaten anything, but I feel like working out. There are lots of days I've been sending him home. I would be like, no, today it doesn't make any sense to work out without having eaten anything. Sometimes it's like, but I have nothing to eat. So from there, that's when I have to do something to have a little I can provide to him to eat. If he doesn't have to eat, if he doesn't have anything to eat, sometimes I've been sending him home. But him, if I'm to send him home without having eaten to play on the baseball field, that's when he goes out to make his own videos.
So if you were watching and not listening, and obviously I wasn't there for the interview, who was the other man there with Kasumba?
So the man that was there with him and talking in that clip was his coach, Coach Paul, who also played professional baseball in his own right and all over the world, basically. But Kasumba does most of the talking throughout the interview.
Yeah.
Sometimes the coach would just chime in and add on to a point that we heard there, which basically was, there are many days, and Kasumba said this himself, there are many days where he's not able to eat. He has no food to eat. And he would show up to practice and tell his coach, who was just there talking, that he hasn't eaten all day. So the coach would send him home. Be like, it's not safe for you to practice without eating. And he said Kasumba would go home and not accept not practicing. And that's where a lot of those videos, the viral videos we see of him, he just goes home and does his own stuff. He's like, well, I'm still going to find a way to play baseball. It is so powerful. It is emotional. He talks a lot about that and a lot about his grandmother and his journey and how he was able to be a part of the MLB Draft League. I asked him about, he does a lot of his viral videos are of him catching. I asked about his hitting and if he's nervous to face pitchers over here and how much, how hard pitchers are that he's faced in his life, what he's most excited about in the United States. It is powerful. It is emotional, and that comes out on Monday as well as a interview special for Flippin' Bats. And I hope everybody checks it out and enjoys it. I'm
excited for that.
Yeah,
can't wait for that this afternoon.
Yeah, I'm excited to listen back to it. There are legitimately times, and I'm a sap.
Same.
I'm a sap. There are legitimate a few times where I was like
Fighting back
I was
tears.
emotional. Yeah. I mean, it without spoiling too much. It puts a lot into perspective, and you could from that clip right there. I mean, it's
Is he here now?
Yeah.
This
so
was in the
this
States?
May 29th. No, we
Okay.
did it when he was still in Uganda.
Got it.
But on Sunday he left for the United States. So as we sit
Got
right
it.
now, he is either like about to land or here in the United States and about to take part in the MLB Draft League. So man.
Let's go Kasumba.
Let's go Kasumba. So we're going to be, I told him, we're going to keep getting updates from him and talking to him throughout this process. And certainly when it's all over, I am a huge fan of his and I'm so happy. And everybody that is a part of the Flippin' Bats community should be proud that we played just a small part in helping him get over here.
Yeah, sharing his story.
And sharing his story. So, yeah, later today, Monday afternoon, special with Kasumba Dennis. I'm pumped for it.
Love that. But it's Monday, so you know what we got to do now?
Overreact. You have to overreact.
Well, I'm going to give you some overreactions, I guess statements, and you tell me if it's an overreaction or not.
Okay.
Are you ready for this?
Yep.
Let's get started with our first one. We will get a Dodgers and Rays World Series rematch.
Ooh.
Is that an overreaction or not?
What a great series. We just saw that
Elite.
series over the weekend.
Elite series.
Oh, man. It was so good. We're going to get a 2020 World Series rematch. I'm gonna say that is an overreaction.
Why?
Well, the why is complicated, and I have a lot to say.
Tell us.
The full reason would be complicated. But first and foremost, we'll start with the Rays. I have this thing where I think what we've seen from the Rays over the last decade is an ability to overperform from what we see out of their payroll and the names on the roster. I think they, in the general sense, they overperform, right? They're always towards the bottom of the league in payroll, but always one of the best teams in baseball, which is a massive credit to the Tampa Bay Rays and the team they are and the analytics department and everything they do. But until I see that result in a championship, my worry is that the sort of Moneyball tactic isn't good enough to win you a World Series.
So it's the Rays you're worried about, not the Dodgers getting to the World Series.
I'll get to the Dodgers.
Okay, let's go.
But yeah, I am worried about both of these teams.
Okay.
The Rays are the best team in baseball. My worry, until I see it, is that this sort of Moneyball tactic isn't good enough to win you a World Series. It can get you there, but without those superstar firepower players that you see, this could be the year with Randy and Shane McClanahan, but then in the playoffs you go up in those final rounds against teams with a far superior payroll, and I do believe that stuff matters. Look at the Oakland A's, the Moneyball A's. When we've all seen the movie Moneyball. Well, guess what? In the movie Moneyball, the Oakland A's win the World Series. But in real life, they didn't win the World Series that year that the movie is based off of. In 2003, they went to 2002, they win 103 games with a payroll a quarter of the size of the New York Yankees. A quarter. They win 103 games. Break all of these records. But they lose in the first round of the playoffs to the Minnesota Twins. I believe the Rays are good enough to win the regular season and to have the best record going into the playoffs and even win some playoff games. My worry is that getting to the World Series and beating those Houston Astros teams that also have the money they spend, and the New York Yankees and the big spenders. And we saw it in 2020, right? But 2020 was a weird year. Right? They weren't playing at home stadiums. It was the COVID year. They got there. I want to see a team with a small payroll that does the analytics thing, and I need to see that resulting in a championship. And it could be the Rays that change my mind. This team is super talented and certainly the best team in baseball right now, but I need to see it to believe it on the Rays side of things. Dodgers, I just think the Dodgers have big pitching issues that need to be addressed. They could be addressed at the trade deadline. Big pitching issues. Yes, they are very good, but they rank 22nd out of 30 teams in team ERA. That doesn't win you. That doesn't get you to the World Series. That doesn't win you a World Series. But they could address it at the trade deadline, as we've talked about. But as of right now, I'm going to say it's an overreaction. Rays-Dodgers is not the World Series matchup.
All right, let's revisit this after the trade deadline.
Yeah,
Fair.
that'd be totally fair.
Okay,
yeah.
we'll do that.
The Rays could go all in at the trade. They do have the pieces to add at the deadline. They just never spend the money. But what do they do at the trade deadline? That's going to be a big story for me. I just, okay. I want it to.
It's okay. Well, we're going to revisit
I
later.
want to
I
see
get
this Rays team deserves a champion. They're
They do.
so good.
Yeah.
I'm
with you.
We'll revisit.
Okay. Speaking of the playoffs, our next overreaction. The Rangers are a complete playoff team.
Whew. The 33-19 Rangers, that is, with the third best record in baseball, they are not
Whoa.
a complete baseball team.
What are they missing?
Complete playoff team. Just yet.
Okay.
They are desperately missing a bullpen. Desperately. I certainly believe they can be a playoff team. Certainly. They are very good. But please, go get bullpen help. I'm going to go down a little side tangent here. The Rangers are clearly very good. One of the best offenses in baseball. Their rotation has been very good without Jacob deGrom. Nate Eovaldi is one of the best pitchers in the league right now, but their bullpen is atrocious. In fact, there's only 3 teams in all of baseball that have a worse bullpen ERA than the Rangers, and you could honestly, given 3 guesses, guess who those 3 are. The Oakland A's, the White Sox, and the Royals. Those are the only teams worse than the Rangers. That's not good enough over the course of a regular season. You're going to go through spells where your offense can't score double-digit runs a game, and their bullpen is very, very concerning to me. So are they a playoff team? Certainly. But are they a complete playoff team? They're not. So my side tangent here is go get relievers. I get frustrated when you have teams like this, the Rangers. You know you're going to be in contention at the trade deadline. So why wait until the deadline? Just go get it. There's going to be teams out there that are already willing to help you out. They already know they're not going to be in contention. Royals, Aroldis Chapman in the conversation. The Reds are a little bit of a different conversation to me because I kind of like what the Reds are doing right now. That might be a hot take. The Reds are heading in a very good direction. Ellie De La Cruz is going to be a star in this league. You got Hunter Green, Lodolo, but they're not there quite yet, this team. McLean, good offensively. So maybe reach out about some of their relievers. Alexis Diaz, who I don't think you're going to be able to get, but Alex Young, Brad Hand. There are relievers out there, Brad Hand being one of them. Why wait? Go get the bullpen help so you can – the Houston Astros are in your rearview mirror. And you know they're going to be there all year. Can you hold off the Astros all year long? I don't know. Probably not, but you're certainly a playoff team. Go get the help that you need desperately. The bullpen is so bad. I'm going to say it's an overreaction that they're a complete playoff team, but that I do believe they are a playoff team. I like watching them. They're a lot of fun.
All right. That's fair.
Yep.
Okay, moving on to our next overreaction. J-Rod's new flight promotion is the best promo in baseball.
That is not an overreaction.
So cool.
This is awesome. Julio Rodriguez has partnered with Alaska Airlines, and what they are both doing together makes me want to fly up via Alaska Airlines to Seattle, sit in the stands, and hope Julio hits a home run in my section. Why, you might ask? Because every time Julio hits a home run at T-Mobile Park, 44 fans, his number, 44 fans sitting in the section it lands in will win a free round-trip flight to the destination of their choice.
That's crazy. Is there a price limit? There's got to be a price limit.
I dove into this,
okay.
Alex. I went to the Alaska Airlines website, and it says destination of your choice. Belize, Hawaii, it names all of them and says you name it.
Whoa.
Right?
That is epic.
Yes.
That is epic.
It's so cool. I'm a big fan of this. And that's not all.
What?
I feel like those infomercials back in the day.
Let's go.
And that's not all. For an added bonus,
yeah.
Every time a Mariner hits a home run in the 4th inning of a home game, one fan will receive 100,000 free Alaska Airlines miles.
Wow.
This is such a cool partnership, such a cool promotion. I want to go up into that stadium and sit in a section where Julio's going to hit a home run.
That might be the best promotion in all of sports.
It really might be.
Yeah.
I want to add to it.
That's
I'm
cool.
just thinking
Okay,
about this.
let's go.
If you catch the home run, you should automatically be one of the 44. If you catch his home run ball.
Well, yeah, because you're in the section where it hit.
Yeah, but only 44 people in the section get it, and it's going to be random. But the person that catches it should automatically be one of those 44.
Definitely.
You know?
That's fair.
Then that's so cool. But actually, that might get bad.
That'd get dangerous.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's okay.
But, you know.
Yeah.
Add some more fun.
It's epic.
I think
That's
do
epic.
it. Just do it. Who cares if it results in,
No.
some poor old lady getting beaten up?
No, let's not say
Oh,
that.
okay.
That's not fair. Okay? No. We don't condone violence on the show. Let's move to our next overreaction. Are you ready for this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't beat up old ladies or anybody. I'm actually a pacifist. I've never gotten in a fight in my life. We know. Whoa, Bulldog Curry over here. She's going to go up in the stands and beat up everybody to get a free round trip to Belize.
No, I would not.
Watch out.
Ben. It's not on the soccer field. Okay. Our next overreaction. Craig Kimbrel will make the Hall of Fame.
First off,
Yeah.
congrats to Craig Kimbrel for getting into the 400 save club over the last week. That's elite territory. He sits at 401.
So does that put you
now.
in like immediate
No,
Hall of Fame?
It does not put you in.
Okay.
And if you look, so he's currently at number 8.
Okay.
And Kenley Jansen's at number 7, like one above him. So
Yeah.
they're 7 and 8. Top 5,
Okay.
is John Franco, who has 424. So he's almost to top 5 all time, but John Franco is not in the Hall of Fame. Nor, and this is a travesty, is Billy Wagner.
What?
Billy Wagner's not in the Hall of Fame. I hate that. Billy Wagner's a Hall of Famer, and you can't convince me otherwise.
Why? Do we know?
The Hall of Fame gatekeepers, that's why.
The old schoolers.
No, if you really look, so let's have the conversation of, is he an All-Star?
Okay.
Or he is an
Hall
All-Star.
of Famer.
Is he a Hall of Famer? So 4, 5, and 6 on the list of the top 8. 8 have 400 or better. 4, 5, and 6 are not Hall of Famers. 1 and 2 are Mariano Rivera, Trevor Hoffman. 3 is Lee Smith. John Franco, Billy Wagner are not. They're not. I think they should be. Craig Kimbrel's at 401. I think he can get to 424. I think he gets into the top 5. I also think the 4-year stretch that Craig Kimbrel had in Atlanta was the most dominant we have ever seen a closer in the game of baseball, period. Better than Mariano Rivera. Mariano Rivera obviously did it for a very, very long time and is the hands-down best closer in the game of baseball in history. I am not arguing that. The 4-year stretch that Craig Kimbrel had in Atlanta was the best we've ever seen a closer be. He had 4 years in a row where he got 46 saves, 52 saves, 50, and 47. He was top 5 in Cy Young in 2 of those years, top 10 in all 4 of those years. And in that 52 save year, he had a 1.01 ERA.
Whoa.
He was the most dominant closer the game has seen in that stretch. Now, what gets interesting with Craig Kimbrel is he did have an 8-year stretch outside of that 4-year stretch, 8 years where that rivals Mariano Rivera and how dominant he was his whole career. But he really fell off. He really fell off a cliff in his career around the 2016 mark. Things really changed, and that's what we know of Craig Kimbrel now. It's tough because the Dodgers, he became like I don't want to say a laughingstock, but it was a tough situation going on there, and he was not very good for them. Now he's at the Phillies, actually pitching really well this year, but his career is almost 2 different parts. In my opinion, that stretch of 8 years, specifically 4 years, where he was the best in baseball and arguably best we've ever seen, is enough for Craig Kimbrel to be a Hall of Famer. I faced Craig Kimbrel when he was with the Atlanta Braves. And he does that thing. It's iconic. And he stared into my soul. And I pooped my pants a little bit. And I struck out on 3 pitches. Not because I couldn't hit his stuff, because I was scared, literally shitless. I literally pooped my pants, I feel like. I didn't really. It wasn't literal.
I was like,
literal is a
then.
strong word. It was not literal. But it's intimidating. He doesn't look at his signs when he's doing this. He looks into your soul.
Smart.
He's that. And he's, which by the way.
That's scary.
Which, by the way, doesn't make any sense anymore because what are you looking at? With PitchCom, they're not putting signs in between your legs. But
intimidation.
It is intimidation.
Your soul.
I'm gonna say he's a Hall of Famer. He's borderline.
Yeah.
I think he is. I think that stretch he had in Atlanta makes him a Hall of Famer.
All right. That's fair.
Yeah.
We got one more.
Okay.
Overreaction. Now, this kind of ties into our very first one. You said no to a Dodgers-Rays World Series rematch, but what do you think of a Yankees and Padres potential World Series matchup?
What another fun series
Yeah.
over the weekend.
Oh, that doesn't sound good.
Well, not good
Yeah.
because of a couple things. I'll address both teams again. Padres obviously have some glaring issues right now in that they can't hit, which is an important thing
With an all-star lineup
to be able to do.
have,
All-star lineup
which is
can't
weird.
hit. And if the season ended today, they would have the worst batting average with runners in scoring position in the history of baseball.
Oof.
With an all-star lineup. Crazy. So they have glaring issues right now, and they're a team that needs to worry about getting into the playoffs first. But they're certainly talented enough. The Yankees, no. What have the Yankees done since last year or this stretch where they are not better than the Houston Astros to be better than the Houston Astros? What have they done? They got swept by the Astros last year. Are they that much better this year? No. In fact, you could argue they're not as good as last year. And there's obviously injuries involved, and what is going to happen with Carlos Rodon? Well, I don't know. I don't think anybody knows. That's going to play a key factor here. But this Yankees lineup, minus Anthony Volpe, is the same lineup that got swept by the Houston Astros last year.
But they were 4 games away from the World
Yeah,
Series.
fans, you should be pumped. We were just 4 games from the World Series, says the Yankees front office.
No.
I'm going to say this is an overreaction. That's not a World Series preview, but it was one of the more fun matchups we've gotten.
It was spicy again. It was so fun.
You got Judge doing Judge things. Both series were great. The Rays end up winning the series against the Dodgers, 2 of 3. The Sunday game finished 11-10. Yankees end up winning 2 of 3 against the Padres, but a bunch of great games there. I will say that's an overreaction. That is not our World Series preview. Uh-oh. You know what that means, Alex. Close your eyes, everyone, if you hate fun. And again, the first 2-time player in here, Fernando Tatis Jr. And what he was doing in that series against the New York Yankees is the reason that everyone, if you hate fun, turn away, close your eyes, because Fernando Tatis brings the fun. So let's start with the fact that we have Tatis in Yankee Stadium for the weekend. You know how that's going to go. He's playing right field. And immediately you start getting things like the fans chanting, "Where's the needle?" You know, that chant. And then the other one being, "You've got small balls." Yankees fans were ruthless during all of this.
Oh, you got the bird.
No, that wasn't the bird. He didn't give the bird.
No, fan did.
Oh, a fan did. Yeah. What Tatis did
it was
was great during a pitching change sitting out in the outfield. He basically was like conducting an orchestra during all of these chants they're singing. He's just motioning as if he were conducting an orchestra along with the tune of it. So, one, unbothered out there. At the plate, also unbothered. In the first 2 games of the series, he hit a home run in both of them. One being a 439-foot upper deck absolute tank, followed by an absolutely diabolical bat flip. It was like a bat chuck. I mean, it was literally hit it, grab the bat, and chuck it to the dugout. Shout out that umpire, by the way, who just realized what was coming and took a step back so he didn't get hit in the face with the bat. But just, it was great. It was great theater. It was great drama. Tatis was unbothered. And after the game, they asked him what he thought his best comeback was to the fans' chants. And his response was simply, that home run.
Yeah, it was. He is doing exactly what a young player who made a massive mistake and did his time should be doing. He's using this negativity as motivation. He's not allowing it to seep into his soul and affect his game mentally. We're seeing him actually laugh at the situation, realize, yeah, okay, I did that, but I did my time. I'm here. I'm still great. And I'm just going to hit a bunch of home runs.
I think the mistake many people make is seeing him having fun, thinking like, well, he hasn't learned his lesson, or, oh, he doesn't care what he did.
What do you expect him to do?
I
Be
think
miserable
that's
forever?
so wrong. Exactly.
No.
Exactly. I just thought of this, so it might not come off great. I think it will. My analogy would be somebody that ends up in jail. When they get out of jail, should they have just stayed there? You know, like you do your time, you come back and you do your job, and Fernando Tatis is having fun doing it, as he should. He's one of the most fun players in baseball, and as we've mentioned many times, he made a mistake.
Yeah.
And I was one of the very first ones to call him out, saying he was immature, he needed to grow up in terms of obviously the suspension, but also the injuries, the motorcycle accidents. There was a lot of immaturity, and he needed to grow up, but we needed to remember how young he is.
Yep.
People make mistakes. We've all made mistakes in our life, and now he's back to being one of the most fun players in baseball, dancing around the field, having fun with the crowd. I think a problem would come about if he's like flicking the crowd off or cussing them out in return. Like,
and
he's not.
No.
Okay, so close your eyes if you hate fun. Yankee Stadium this weekend was a blast to watch him for sure.
It was so much fun.
Let's
talk about some exciting rookies right now. Your top 3 rookies
of the week.
Are you ready for it?
I am ready.
Okay, number 3, Matt McLain.
Matt McLain of the Cincinnati Reds has come up and been fantastic. I mentioned earlier that I am very excited about the Cincinnati Reds.
Yes, you are.
And I might be one of the only people outside of Cincinnati Reds fans saying, I'm so excited about the Reds.
Yeah.
But there are so many reasons to be excited. And Matt McLain is one of those reasons, hitting .367 over the past week, a couple of homers. So he is first on this list of top 3 rookies of the past week.
Number 2, Josh Young.
Josh Young. Honestly, Josh Young could be en route to American League Rookie of the Year.
Ooh.
He's not the current favorite. I would say Yoshida probably is right now. But Josh Young has been a huge, valuable part of this very good, if not best, offense in baseball, Texas Rangers. And over the past week, ho-hum, .440 batting average, 3 home runs, 8 RBIs, and a 1,400 OPS. Pretty good.
That's pretty good.
Yep.
And at number 1, Francisco Alvarez.
Alex,
yeah,
I don't know how many times I have said it, but let the kids play. There was a reason for saying it, and we're seeing why, and I will continue to say it for the remainder of the season because you need to let the kids play, and they're showing you why. Francisco Alvarez, .471, 3 homers on the week, 8 RBIs, what he's doing behind the plate. I've been so impressed with him. His ability, admittedly, when he first came up and I saw him catching, I was a bit worried. Admittedly, from then until now, which has been like less than a month, I have seen a lot of improvement. I have seen a lot of want to get better. I have seen an uncanny ability to bring passion to this New York lineup that desperately needed a changeup. He has 5 home runs in his last 8 games and now has 8 homers on the year. Alex, take a guess last year over the course of the entire Mets season, how many home runs Mets catchers hit combined?
8.
8 is the correct answer. And Francisco Alvarez has 8 already on the year, with an OPS on the season over 900. Man, I'm having a blast watching him. He was the #1 prospect for the Mets for a reason. I was screaming, let the kids play, call the kids up for a reason, and now we're seeing that reason. So he is my #1 rookie of the week, meaning top 3, Matt McLain, Josh Young, and Francisco Alvarez. Good week.
This is a great week. And that means we're moving on, I guess you would call your power rankings, your teams of the week, right?
In a way.
In a way. So let's get to your power rankings. Starting with number 10, they were not ranked last week, the Seattle Mariners.
It has taken the Mariners a long time to get here.
Yeah.
And I believed in them this year. And I still do.
Okay.
And now they're here. in the power rankings for the first time in a long time. First time, long time. They're here at number 10, 28 and 25, playing good baseball. Julio is heating up. Finally, the kid has arrived back to what we knew Julio could be, and things are rolling there in Seattle. It's been a blast to watch them. Great crowds over the weekend. Julio hitting homers. His first homer with this new promotion went into the visiting bullpen. So, like, does the visiting bullpen get free round trips somewhere? I don't know. But the Mariners are playing well. They're here at number 10.
At number 9, holding strong, the Red Sox.
Yep, Red Sox holding strong. They are also 28 and 25. Bit of an up and down week. Did not play well against the Angels, but did play well over the weekend against the D-backs. So they're staying put. 28 and 25. They're in 4th place in the AL East, but don't let that trick you. They would be in 1st place in a couple other divisions, but they're in 4th in theirs.
At number 8, you just mentioned them, the D-backs. Holding strong at 8.
30 and 23. Who had the D-backs being 30 and 23 53 games into the year? Well, probably nobody, because nobody thinks about somebody's record 53 games into the year, but they are 30 and 23 and a lot of fun. All I have to say is MVP CC is the truth. The truth.
It's been a while since we've heard you talk about the Corbin Carroll bandwagon.
He's been so good. The hype train, the bandwagon, it left the station before the year started, and I told you all to hop on, and it's been going strong. NL Rookie of the Year, as I said, incoming. It's going to be close, though.
Okay.
Francisco Alvarez, James Outman, if he can turn it around. We'll see. But D-backs here at 8.
All right. At number 7, down 4 spots, the Atlanta Braves.
32 and 21. Tough week for them. So I will say they're not necessarily – they played the week about 500. Mm-hmm. They're not down specifically because of how bad they were. They just haven't been elite lately, and the teams that we will discuss shortly have been. But a good Sunday win against the Phillies, 32 and 21, very good. Braves are at 7.
At number 6, up 1, the Houston Astros.
Yeah, they're rolling.
Mm-hmm.
They're playing really, really good baseball right now. 31 and 21 on the season. But this is the Astros team we all expected. Jose Altuve has come back. He hit his first home run over the weekend. And shout out Jose Abreu. He did it.
That was so epic. He sprinted around the bases and then slid into the dugout like it was a walk-off win. It was all time.
Shout out Jose Abreu. Got the first one with the Astros. And as I always say, where there's one, there's 50.
Okay.
So incoming, 50 homer season, Jose Abreu. The Astros are rolling. They're back to getting healthy. Michael Brantley, I heard, is back to taking dry swings, not yet hitting, but that's progress news. That he's doing anything after you hear the shoulder messed up, inflamed, and all that again. Astros are rolling. They're here at 6.
All right, moving into your top 5. At number 5, up 1 spot, the New York Yankees.
Yeah, the Yankees have been really good since Aaron Judge came back. He is certainly the team MVP, the reigning MVP. 32 and 23, a good weekend series against the Padres, who maybe not be playing the best baseball in the world, but certainly anytime you go up against a lineup that these guys are playing better. Juan Soto playing very well, Tatis playing good. The lineup is good. Anytime you have that team come in and you take care of them, that's a good series. The Yankees are 32 and 23 and have moved up in the power rankings into the top 5 at number 5.
All right, at number 4, up 1 spot, the Dodgers.
Yeah, Dodgers, very good as well. I'm not going to knock them a ton for a very, very competitive series against the Tampa Bay Rays. Mm-hmm. End up losing it 11-10 on Sunday and lose that series, but I'm not going to knock them for that. On the road against the best team in baseball. Prior to that, they were the hottest team in the game, so I'm going to keep moving them up a little bit. Another good week. Some very hot guys in their lineup. JD Martinez has been on fire lately. 32 and 22. Dodgers are at 4.
At number 3, down 1 spot, the Orioles.
Yeah, Orioles 34 and 19. Still hanging on to that second best record in baseball by a thread, but 34 and 19. And without saying much, I will explain more when we get to number 2, Alex.
Yeah, number 2, the Texas Rangers. Up 2 spots.
Up 2 spots, just beat the beat the Orioles on the road in a great series, fun matchup. They both have the second and third best records in the game of baseball right now. Rangers at 33-19. The O's still have the second best record, but I couldn't put them at 2-3 without the Rangers being on top because they just went into Birdland and took care of business and beat them. So I gave the Rangers the edge. But you all know I love the Orioles. I need to get into the bird bath at some point this year.
It'll happen.
Yeah, I got to get in there. But the Rangers are at number 2, 33-19. And Alex, they were our tail of the tape.
Yep.
Rangers
I took the Rangers.
You did take the Rangers.
You took the Orioles.
I took the O's.
So I take the win.
That's how that works. So I think you won the first one. I won the second one. Then we were even for a while there. So I think you're one up right now. Yep. So. My pinky is in jeopardy if you haven't been listening to the show long. We wagered our pinkies.
No,
so on to number one without Alex talking.
We're
Let's go.
changing that. Holding strong, the best team in baseball, the Tampa Bay Rays.
Yeah, not a shock. 39-16. They will be the first team to get to 40 wins in a season. Great weekend series against the Dodgers. They're just doing everything well. Everything, and they are on pace to be one of the best teams of all time if they can keep this up, certainly. But at 39-16, the Tampa Bay Rays round out this week's new top 10 Major League Baseball Power Rankings.
All right, that means it's time for Team of the Week.
From the teams of the week.
From the teams of the week to your team.
I thought that's what you were setting up earlier. How do you? I mean.
Thank you.
You said kind of like teams
you're
of
listening.
the week, and I thought you were setting up for the most perfect transition of from teams of the week to
your
team of the week. But you just let me down.
What do you mean? You picked me up. That's teamwork.
Teamwork.
There you go. Okay, let's start behind the plate. You talked about him moments ago in your top 3 rookies, Francisco Alvarez.
Yeah, Francisco Alvarez was my top rookie of the week, and he is certainly in the team of the week. 471, 3 homers, 8 RBIs. I talked about how dominant he's been. 5 homers in his last 8 games, 8 homers on the year, which is good enough to tie the amount of home runs that Mets catchers hit all of last season combined. Francisco Alvarez has been a joy to watch. One of the best players in baseball since he's been called up. So he's my catcher.
An epic Zoolander look in this photo, too.
That is quite the look.
Right? He's crushing it.
That's the look of somebody said, act serious, act mad. You just go. All right.
Blue Steel.
Yeah.
Okay, moving to first base, Yuli Gurriel.
Yuli Gurriel, the first baseman that the Astros let walk in place of Jose Abreu, who finally got his first homer. But on the week, Yuli Gurriel hit 542, over 500 on the week with 2 triples and 3 RBIs and an on-base percentage of .593. Not easy for Astros fans to see this, but at least Jose Abreu got on the board with his first homer. But Yuli Gurriel, what a week. Yeah.
Moving to second base, Will Castro.
Oh, Willie Castro stepping in place of a hurt Jorge Polanco. Bat 381 on the week, 2 homers, 3 RBIs, an OPS north of 1,100. Willie Castro is awesome. He's my second baseman.
Moving to third base, Josh Young.
Again, 2 rookies on the list. My top 2 rookies on Rookies of the Week. Josh Young, 440, 3 homers, 8 RBIs, and again, an OPS over 1,400. He's my third baseman.
Shortstop, Bo Bichette.
Bo Bichette throughout the Blue Jays' struggles of late. Blue Jays in last place in the AL East, which doesn't mean they're out of contention by any means because the division's very good. But Bo Bichette has been not the problem. 469 average, 2 homers, 7 RBIs, and I must say, great hair.
The flow. Every time I see him rounding the bases.
Yep, he's my shortstop.
All right, moving to the outfield. Now, these are just 3 outfielders, not necessarily in an order and not by position. But let's get started with Jorge Soler.
He hit 6 homers on the week.
Insane, yeah.
6 home runs on the week and hit 406 while doing it. 11 RBIs and a slugging percentage. Not just OPS. Slugging percentage of 1,000 on the dot. What a week for Jorge Soler. He's my first of 3 outfielders.
Next is Julio Rodriguez.
Julio,
see you're catching on.
Julio, 414, a homer, 4 doubles, 6 RBI. He is my center fielder on Team of the Week, and I am so happy for this to be happening because slow start to the year, but he's picking it up and being the player that he is. He is my second of 3 outfielders.
And rounding up, Michael Conforto.
Rounding up, Michael Conforto, 391, 3 homers, 8 RBIs, almost a 1,300 OPS. So that leaves an outfield of Jorge Soler, Julio Rodriguez, and Michael Conforto. All great weeks. But a bit of a different outfield than we've been seeing all year. We've seen a lot of Ronald Acuñas, a lot of Aaron Judges, Mike Trouts. This is a different look, and that's why we do Team of the Week. And the next one, I know this Monday episode comes out on May 29th. The next one will be at the first of the month, meaning it'll be Team of the Month next week. Yep.
Okay. Moving to designated hitter, Dodgers, JD Martinez.
Yeah, JD's been in fuego really since he came back. He was on the IL, I believe. He was either out for a while. He was on the IL. 423, 3 homers, 7 RBIs, and an OPS of 1254. Really clutch hits as well. The Dodgers offense is rolling, and so is JD. He's my DH.
Moving to starting pitcher, Luis Castillo.
Yeah, this one was easy. Yeah. I mean, easy. 2-0 on the week. 12 innings pitched, 0 earned runs, 18 strikeouts, and only 5 hits in those 12 innings. Luis Castillo has been really up this year and then a really tough skid, and this is about as dominant as you can get, and it earned him the honor of my Team of the Week.
I love that. Yeah, we had the Mariners on your rankings. You have Rodriguez out there. You have Castillo.
Yeah, they're a big reason why he's turning around.
I know. They're making a comeback.
Yep.
Okay, and finally, closing pitcher, Craig Kimbrel.
Yeah, Kimbrel got 3 saves on the week. Also got a win. I believe in that win. I believe he blew the save. However, welcome to the 400 save club, Craig Kimbrel. Incredible feat. What an incredible career he has had. In my life, because I was towards the end of Mo, seeing that stretch of Craig Kimbrel with the Atlanta Braves is the most dominant I have ever seen a closer. And congratulations to Craig Kimbrel on the week that he had, picking up 3 saves, and that got him to the 400 mark. And I believe he's about 23 saves away from top 5 all time. So congrats to Craig Kimbrel there. He's my closer on Team of the Week, and that rounds out my Team of the Week.
So who is your player of the week?
My player of the week is Jorge Soler. 6 homers on the week.
Yeah.
And I know this isn't, I know this is only to do with the week, but I'm going to tell you on the month, he's hit 12 homers in the month of May.
Wow.
406, 8 runs scored, 6 home runs, and 11 RBIs in the week. 1 week, 6 home runs. That's incredible. There's going to be plenty of players that don't get to 6 on the entire year.
No.
He got 6 in a week.
Yeah,
Shout out
great.
Jorge Soler. He is my player of the week. What about yours?
My player is JD Martinez. He also has had an incredible week. 3 home runs, 7 RBI, 6 runs, batting .423. And you know what? On Sunday, he just decided to hit another home run. Just keeping it flowing. He is so locked in, and he's going to be a huge help to the Dodgers to continue this run.
He is one of I played with him in the Tigers organization, and a lot of time in spring training. We went to the same hitting coach as well out here in
so you know him.
In LA. Yeah.
Yeah.
He is one of the streakier hitters in baseball. And I don't mean that like he can have long periods of downs, but when he's going well,
and we're
watch
there right
out
now.
because it does not cool off. And he can certainly go through some stretches that are very, very difficult. So it's definitely mental to some degree with JD. Like he'll come back in the dugout when he's struggling and just feverishly and tirelessly look over the iPad and figure out what he's doing, when sometimes you just got to go up there and trust your swing because it's great. And right now JD is trusting his swing, and I wouldn't bet on this slowing down anytime soon. So good one for you. Jorge Soler is mine. JD Martinez is yours. And all of our player of the week is Kasumba Dennis.
Yes, it is.
Alex, because later today, my friends, if you're listening in the morning, this will be dropping later in the afternoon as a special episode. I'm going to add another special. A special episode of Flippin' Bats, where I sat down with Kasumba Dennis, who was still in Uganda at the time, right before he hopped on his flight to the United States. And that is dropping later this afternoon. If you're listening in the afternoon to this episode, please go listen to that. It is powerful. It is emotional. It is special, as I said, I'm going to call it. And Kasumba Dennis is somebody that we should all be rooting for. The 18-year-old Ugandan catcher that is coming over to participate in the MLB Draft League. And I asked him all about participating in that, but all about his life. How you get into baseball, being from Uganda, where soccer as we know it, football as they know it, is the #1 sport. Rugby. How did he get into baseball? How did he learn baseball? How did he get to being able to participate in the draft league? What's the hardest pitching he's seen? What makes him work so hard? It's really cool. And I'm really, really excited about this one. And I'm really excited for everybody to listen to it. So make sure you listen to that. But for this first Monday episode of Flippin' Bats, that does it, my friends. I'm going to go back to eating this cupcake, Alex.
Oh, yeah. I forgot to give that to you at the top of the show.
Thank you.
I brought some for everybody.
Everybody listening? How are you going to do that?
Well, no, like our control room.
Okay. Thank you all for listening to this episode. Make sure you subscribe anywhere you listen to your podcast, Apple, Spotify, wherever. Click that plus button, that subscribe button. We're also on all social media, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube. You can watch everything we do on YouTube at Flippin' Bats Pod for all of them. That does it for this episode. Until next time, my friends, peace.